Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So we are going to be doing a stitch pattern. I am using my eye hook or 5.5mm hook, and I'm just using some worsted weight number 4 yarn. I have no idea the brand because the label fell off a very long time ago. Alright, so for this particular stitch pattern, you're going to need to chain a multiple of 3 and then add 2. So I went ahead and already chained 14. And we've been doing a lot of stitch patterns from a knitting dictionary. And I feel like they all consist of either knit stitches or purl stitches. And there is Tunisian simple stitch. So I thought it would be nice to kind of go back to Tunisian simple and do something using Tunisian simple. So this is not from a knitting stitch dictionary. It's just some stitches that I played around with and came up with this, and it's kind of a lacier stitch and I think it's really pretty. Alright, so we're going to get started on row 1. On the second chain from our hook in the back bump, we're going to turn it over and we are going to pull up loops. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, I do have a complete playlist that goes over the basics to get you started. And with Tunisian crochet, each row is worked in 2 parts. The first part of the row, you're putting your stitches on your hook, is called the forward pass. And the second part, you will be taking your stitches off of your hook, and that is the return pass. And each part is 1 row. Okay, so we have our loops on our hook. So whatever amount you chained will be the same amount on your hook. Okay, so let's get ready for the return pass. So we are going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 for the rest of the row, and row 1 will be done. Okay, so there's row 1. This is our setup row. So rows 2 through 5 will be the repeat for this stitch pattern. So we are going to begin row 2. So we are going to be working in Tunisian simple. So I'm going to insert my hook in Tunisian simple in the first 3 stitches. So we're going to be doing a big decrease or together stitch. And if you do not know how to do Tunisian simple, it is in the playlist. So I just pulled up that loop, so we're going to go across. So in those next 3 stitches, yarn over, pull up our loop. And then in our last stitch that looks like a chain, right here, we're going to insert our hook. So as you can see, we definitely have less loops on our hook, but we're going to fix that with the return pass. So this stitch pattern's a little bit unique. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, pull through 1. And now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2. So we're going to continue that across. So now we have our last 2 loops. We're just going to yarn over and pull through those last 2. So now we have kind of put the stitches back on with those chain 2s. Alright, so let's begin row 3. We're going to work Tunisian simple in that first vertical bar. And then in the next 2 chains, we're going to also work Tunisian simple. So we're going to insert our hook in that chain, pull up a loop, insert our hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, and then in that vertical bar, pull up a loop, and you're going to continue across. So now we have one more stitch that looks like a chain, and we're going to insert our hook in there, pull up a loop, and we should have 14 loops back on our hook. And we do indeed. So now we're back on track with the correct amount of stitches. So we're going to work our return pass like we normally do. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so there we go. So let's begin row 4. So we're going to insert our hook in Tunisian simple in the next 3 vertical bars, like we did for row 2, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go back in those 3 vertical bars and pull up a loop. And we're going to continue. So the next 3 vertical bars, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over again, go right back in there. And we're just going to continue across. And now in that last stitch that looks like a chain right there, insert your hook. So now we have 14 loops on our hook again. They're a little bit bunched, but they are there. So we are going to work them off like normal. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so row 4 is done, and now we have one more row in our repeat. It's a 4-row repeat. Row 5, we're going to work Tunisian simple all the way across and all these vertical bars. So in that first one, yarn over, pull up a loop. So that one in the middle, it's kind of a little bit shorter, but it's there. So just insert your hook in that bar and pull it up. So at the end of your row, you will again have 14 loops on your hook, unless you chained a different number. So as long as you chained a multiple of 3 and add 2, you're good. So if you chained, let's say you chained 15 and then you added 2, then that would be 17, so you would be fine. Or 18 and you add 2, then you would have chained 20. And then in that last stitch, that looks like a chain. And we work off these stitches like normal. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. So what you want to do is for rows 2 through 5, you're just going to be repeating as long as, however long you want your swatch. And then you will end on a row 2, and then we will work the bind off. So I'm going to keep going, working a couple more repeats here, and then I will end on a row 2, and I'll meet you back for the bind off. Okay, so here is my swatch, so you can see the stitch pattern, a little bit of a lacier pattern. I think it's really nice though, and I like that it just uses the Tunisian simple stitch, but just in different variations. So I did end on a row 2, so let's do our bind off. So if you're not familiar with binding off, it is in the playlist, and binding off just helps your Tunisian project to look its best. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook in that first vertical bar, and we're going to just work a slip stitch or bind off, and we're going to go in the next chain, pull up a loop, and work that slip stitch to bind off. And I'm just keeping a nice relaxed hand. So I went in the next chain and worked that bind off, and then in that vertical bar. So we're just working in each chain and in each vertical bar. Yep, let's try that again. Alright, so there we go. There is the bind off. So I did work 18 rows before the bind off, so you can see this one lays sort of flat. It still wants to kind of curl a little bit, but it's not as bad as some Tunisian simple stitches. And I also made another one using cotton yarn, DK weight cotton, but I still used an eye hook. So here it is in green, and I did do 17 chains, so it's slightly wider than this one, but you can see how it looks in the cotton. And I do think this would be really pretty in a shawl or even like a lighter weight blanket or a scarf. I do really like this stitch pattern. I think it's nice, and I'm glad that we could do it using the Tunisian simple because I felt like it needed a little bit of love. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.